It's over. I'm calling it. It's over. If there's ever any doubt that the Cleveland Cavaliers and their injury woes are going to cost them the championship, last night proved it. The Tigers take 2, 3. Didn't have to feel the sweeping conclusions. The Mudhens barely get out of Pawtucket with losing 2 of 3. And will we see Lord Stanley being lifted by Patrick Kane, Jonathan Taves, and the Chicago Blackhawks tonight? But Kurt Busch was the winner at MIS this past weekend. Of course, NASCAR was in the Irish Hills. We'll recap that as well, too. And so much more. But with the Tigers taking 2 of 3 against the Tribe, now getting ready for a season series against the Cincinnati Redlegs, I think it's time we play this for the first time this year.
Go get 'em, Tiger. Wow.
We're all behind our baseball team. Go get 'em, Tiger. World Series bound and picking up steam. Go get 'em, Tiger. There'll be joy in Tiger Town. We'll sing you songs with the Bengals bring the pennant home where it belongs. We're all behind our baseball team. Go get 'em. Detroit Tigers. Go get 'em, Tigers.
Go get 'em, Tigers! Roar! 2 of 3 against the Tribe! We're all behind our baseball team. Go get 'em.
Detroit Tigers.
Go get 'em, Tigers! Oh, go get 'em, Tigers! And I'm glad I don't have to hear it play this. It's a sweep song.
Indian fever. It's catching fire with everyone. Indian fever. You can be part of the fun. You're the winner at every game. That's where the excitement begins. So catch Indian fever. Be a believer with the Cleveland Indians. Indian fever. It starts from the very first inning. Indian fever. Each game is a brand new beginning. It's the hits, the homers, the double plays. It's how you feel when we win. So catch Indian fever.
Be a believer with the Cleveland Indians. Oh, be a believer. Even though the Tribe lost 2 of 3 to the Motor City Kitties, David Price, and the return of Justin Verlander. I love you guys, and welcome to this Monday edition of Andy Alfred right here on your exclusive home for me, a production of Clayfan 2-3. I am your host, Andy Alfred, welcoming you into the Man Cave Studios and welcoming you in to another edition of All Andy Alfred as a rainy Monday has upon us. Lots of rain going on and nowhere to put it. Luckily, the Mudhens are out of town for this against the Syracuse Chiefs. Might get rained out tonight in Syracuse, but we'll see. We'll preview that game and break down the week that was as well, or weekend that was, excuse me, as well as this being Monday. That means it is the batting averages for the Mudhens presented by Dr. Z. Also, we'll talk about the Tigers as well, too, and as well previewing tonight's Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final between the Chicago Blackhawks and the Tampa Bay Lightning. But first and foremost, it's over. It's over. I'm saying it right now. I'm telling you, Cav fans, this to be prepared for what's going to happen on Tuesday night. Injuries have killed the Cavs this season. They have killed them. The injury to Love in the first round. Kyrie Irving being out injured, Andy being out, have killed the Cavs' chances. And I think it proved it last night. J.R. Smith getting out, having a breakout performance. A great performance by LeBron James, but Steph Curry, I hate him. I hate Thompson. I hate Curry. I hate Golden State. I hate Steve Kerr. He should go back to TNT. I hate Golden State, period. Last night, the Cavs were a loser, 104-91 over the Warriors. They blew the doors open with 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. The Cavs kept it pretty even most of the game. This is the one thing I'm worried about. The one thing I am worried about. Riots in Cleveland on Tuesday if they lose. I was more worried about it if they won. Now I'm more worried about it if they lose. I think the Cavs are done. I think the Warriors will either win. They'll either win Game 6. But if Cleveland comes out and surprises me in Game 6 and blows the doors open, it beats Golden State, I'd be surprised. Because then Game 7 will really be a toss-up. Because right now, Golden State has the momentum going back to Cleveland. They could wrap it up. And I don't want to see it happen at the Q. But the Golden State Warriors and the great Stephen Curry gets to lift the trophy in the Q with Thompson and Steve Kerr and Iguodala and all those idiot fans. Oracle Arena is a dump! I thought Wheeling, West Virginia had dumpy buildings. Looking at the stat line, LeBron went 15 for 34, 3 for 8 from the three-point line. He had 40 points in the game, 14 rebounds, 11 assists. Matthew Dellavedova, 2 for 9, 1 for 5 in the three-point marker, 5 points. You can't win it that way, Delly. I guess the cold cuts have run out for the Cavs. J.R. Smith, got to give him credit. 36 minutes played, 5 for 15, 4 from 14 from three-point range. He was clutch. He had 14 points in the game. Tristan Thompson, 19 points, 10 rebounds, no assists in the game. But Stephen Curry, 37 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals within the game. Klay Thompson, 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists in this game. Game time was 2 hours and 29 minutes, 19,596 at Oracle Arena. And the officiating has been horrible in the NBA. The NBA should take a look at the officiating and teach a better class during the summer because it is ridiculous. Horrible foul calls. No foul calls. It's just absolutely horrendous. I cannot take this. The WWE officials are a lot better at this, at their job, than the NBA officials. It's Tim Donaghy all over again, folks. All over again. I mean, what are you going to do? You got to come out strong in Game 6 tomorrow night. You have to come out strong. And LeBron can't be just a solid player by himself. Every player has to step up. Mozgov's got to step up after having that breakout game in Game 4. They just got to step up. Step up to the plate and do something. Here. I mean, Jones has got to step up. Dellavedova's got to step up. Shumpert's got to step up. And he's got to stop with these stupid fouls. The Cavs have a chance. The Cavs want to win. They have to, and they must win tomorrow night at the Q. And I want the fans to know this. You come out strong in this game. You come out strong. If you don't come out strong for this game, I'm telling you straight up, and I'm telling you straight up as a fact, you don't want to give Golden State any momentum whatsoever in this game, in that game tomorrow night. Make that building rock. And if Golden State wins, which I have that feeling they could, treat it with respect. Because next year could be the year. Healthy team winning championship. Just saying. Cavs just, they got me going. Got me angry. But, you know, let's talk a little bit about baseball first and foremost. Oh! David Price Friday night. Oh! If Mike Ilitch wants to get a big deal for David Price, I am for that. I'm just for that. Give him the money. In the words of Cuba Gooding Jr. in Jerry Maguire, show me the money. Because, honestly, David Price was absolutely spectacular Friday night. He was absolutely spectacular Friday night against the Indians as the Tigers took on the Cleveland Indians in a pivotal 3-game series, in my opinion, that could basically set up the division. Price gets the win. He goes to 6-2 with a 2.44 ERA as he shuts out the Cleveland Indians 4-0. Yanni Salazar gets the loss. He goes to 6-2 with a 3.54 ERA. Miguel Cabrera, his 13th of the season. The Tigers went 4 runs on 9 hits, no errors. The Tribe, a goose egg, and runs, 7 hits, and no errors in Friday night's affair. On Saturday, a little bit of a different outcome. The Tribe getting a 5-4 victory as the return of Justin Verlander comes back in the lineup. But he does not get the decision in the game. Looking at it, the Indians were a winner 5-4. Carrasco getting the win. He now improves to 8-5 with a 4.38 ERA. J.J. Hardy gets the loss. Goes to 2-1 with a 3.33 ERA. Cody Allen, his 14th save of the season. Carlos Santana, his homer, his 7th of the season. And J.D. Martinez, his 11th of the season for him. Verlander went 5 innings, giving up 3 hits, 2 runs, bullet runs, earned 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and he gave a home run, and that was the Santana home run. His ERA starting off right now is a 3.60. For the Tribe, Carrasco getting the win. He allowed 7 hits, 3 runs, all 3 earned, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, 4.38 ERA. Fantastic outing for Carlos Carrasco in the game. Took 3 hours and 34 minutes, 41,620 in attendance Saturday afternoon at Comerica Park. Then on Sunday, the concluding game of the series, which was off and on because of the rain that was going on throughout the area. There was a lot of delays with that game on Sunday, but the Tigers proving that they can win any way fashionable, rain, delay, or not, with an 8-1 victory over the Cleveland Indians. Simone gets the win. He goes to 7-3 with a 2.58 ERA. Kluber gets the loss. He goes to 3-8 with a 3.54 ERA. Hey, what's your favorite homer? Mine was Brandon Moss's on Sunday. His 11th of the season. J.D. Martinez, his 12th of the year, and Miggy going deep on Kluber. And Kluber, if you haven't seen any of the footage, Fox Sports Detroit asked him about Miguel Cabrera. It's like, I'm not afraid to pitch to Cabrera. And the first pitch that Kluber threw to Cabrera, gone! Deepest part of Comerica. 8 runs on 10 hits, 2 errors for the Tigers, 1 run on 8 hits for the Tribe in that affair. Yesterday's other scores around the major leagues: Atlanta was a loser 10-8 to the Mets. The White Sox were a loser 2-1 to the Rays. Colorado a 4-1 victory over the Miami Marlins. the Yankees a 5-3 victory over the Baltimore Orioles. In 11 innings, the Pittsburgh Pirates getting a 1-0 victory over the Philadelphia Phillies. And the funny thing about that, if you haven't seen MLB memes, there was a point in the game when the score was 0-0, and on the line, both Philadelphia and Pittsburgh's logos are two P's. So it was P0-0-P. Poop. I love a good poop joke when it comes around once in a while. So I had to share that one. Toronto, a 13-5 victory over Boston, and Boston's having some trouble right now. I think Farrell's going to be on his ass out the door. In my opinion, they should have fired him before they fired Bud Black out of San Diego. And we'll get to that in a second. Houston, a 13-0 win over the Seattle Mariners. Oh, 13 runs on 14 hits. Washington, 4-0 winners over the Milwaukee Brewers. The Minnesota Twins, a 4-3 victory over the Texas Rangers. Oakland, 8. Anaheim, 1. Arizona was a 4-0 victory over San Francisco. The Dodgers win in extras 4-2 over the San Diego Padres. And in 11 innings, at the north side, the Cubbies were a winner 2-1 over the Cincinnati Reds. Kansas City and St. Louis were postponed yesterday due to the rain. Now tonight, before we get into the series tonight, let's go over the MLB news. Of course, like I mentioned, Bud Norris, the former manager of the San Diego Padres, has been fired by the San Diego Padres. His record going into tonight's play, the team was 32-33, and the amount of talent that this team has, this team should be at least competing in the same division with the Dodgers and the Giants. And this team, and how much they went out in the offseason and spent, it's just surprising that that's not happening. They got the Oakland A's tonight. A lot of interleague play going on tonight in the major leagues. The one non-interleague game going on, if I can find it. Oh, it looks like everybody's playing interleague action this week, and we'll preview that momentarily. But let's take a look at the standings going into tonight's play. After the 2-3 against the Tribe, the Tigers are now in third place with a record of 33-30. 3 games out of first place, a game and a half out of a wild card position. Minnesota's now 34-28. A game and a half out of first place to Kansas City, who is 34-25, who sat idle yesterday due to the rain. Cleveland is now 29-33, 6.5 out, 5 games out of a wild card position, and the White Sox ringing up the rear with a record of 28-33, 7 games out of first place. The Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays are a virtual tie in the East, and Houston is still cruising in the West, 2.5 game lead over the Texas Rangers. In action tonight, it is, like I said, interleague season, as most of the interleague games are going on tonight. A lot of teams are playing their interleague matchups. The White Sox are in Pittsburgh. That's a 7:05 first hit. That's Rondon versus Liriano. Philadelphia is in Baltimore. That's Harang versus Chen. Atlanta is in Boston. That's Perez versus Porcello. The Yankees are in Miami. That's Tanaka versus Kohler. Toronto is in the Mets. That's Burley versus Singard. Washington taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. That's Gomez versus Ramirez. The Dodgers taking on the Rangers. Perez versus Garredondo. 8-10 for that one. And at 8-10 as well to Barreles versus Krunkle. That's the Rockies versus the Astros. Kansas City's in Milwaukee tonight. It is Volquez versus LaRoche. 8:10 start time for that. Minnesota is in St. Louis. I don't think they're going to get that game in tonight. Lackey versus May. 10:05. It is the Rays. It is the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the LA Angels. It's Weaver versus Ray. That's why I said Ray. Oakland is in San Diego. Ross versus Haran. And at 10:15, it is the Seattle Mariners versus Hudson and the San Francisco Giants. But looking locally, the Tigers start up a 4-game series, 2-2, against the Cincinnati Redlegs. Big game series for this one. 7:08 start time for that one. Moscot for Cincinnati will start. That's a 7:08 start time. He'll be opposed to Anibal Sanchez, who is 4-7 with a 5.16 ERA. 7:08 start time for that one on Fox Sports Detroit, or also on Fox Sports Ohio. And then at 8:05, the Cubs are hosting the Cleveland Indians. Now, this is the pivotal series right here for the Tribe. A Cub team that is very, very good this year will send to the hill Jake Arrieta, who is 6-4 with a 3.16 ERA. Trevor Bauer for the Tribe. He is 5-3 with a 3.53 ERA. 8:05 start time, Eastern Standard Time on the north side of Chicago on Fox Sports Time. Tomorrow's game, a Tuesday game, the Tigers will send out Ryan out there on the hill. He's 1-0 with a 2.08 ERA. Lorenzine will start for Cincinnati, who is 1-2 with a 4.01 ERA. 7:08 start time for that one. And then the concluding game, that's the concluding game before they head to Cincinnati for 2 more. And then the concluding game on the north side, it will be Markham for Cleveland, who's 3-1 with a 4.09 ERA. He'll take on Wada, who's 0-1 with a 4.84. 8:05 start time for that one. We'll preview that game tomorrow as well. But big series as interleague play gets into action. 2 good teams for this local market, of course. The Cubs, especially the Cubs. That Cub-Indian series is going to be a good one. The Reds and the Tigers, that's a good series as well, too. I look forward to seeing this Pittsburgh White Sox series, see how that's going to happen, and how the whole series is going to shake out. You're watching All Andy Alfred right here on ClayFan23, presented by CarryTheFifthLine.tumblr.com. I'm your host, Andy Alfred, welcoming you into the Man Cave Studios. As we are halfway through the show, we recap the NBA Finals from last night, and we recap the weekend that was in MLB. So now let's talk a little bit about what happened in Pawtucket. And first and foremost, let's talk about what happened Friday. We had a lead. At one point in this game, we had a lead. And to say we blew it is to say we blew it. Looking at this weekend series in Pawtucket, the Mudhens losing 3 of 4 in Pawtucket, getting the much needed win on Sunday. But on Friday, as I pull it up as we speak, on Friday evening, the Mudhens took on the Pawtucket Red Sox at McCoy Stadium, which I think will be the last time the Mudhens are in McCoy Stadium. And the Mudhens lose in extra innings 3-2. Ramirez for Pawtucket gets the win. He goes to 2-0 with a 2.25 ERA. Vergarden gets the loss. He goes to 0-1 with a 10.38 ERA. Send him to Erie now. Send him to Erie now. No home runs hit in the game. Then on Saturday, it got worse. It got worse before it got better. On Saturday, the Mudhens lost 7-5. Johnson gets the win for Pawtucket. He goes to 7-4 with a 2.51 ERA. Nesbitt gets the loss. He goes to 0-1 with a, get this, ready for this, 54.00 ERA. Could you hold on for just one moment? Hold on for just 1 minute. Light gets the save, his second of the season. Craig homer for Pawtucket. And then yesterday, we finally win a ball game in Pawtucket. Finally, a 4-3 win Dulles gets the win. He goes to 3-2 with a 6.11 ERA. Castino gets the loss. He goes to 0-4 with a 3.67 ERA. Cabrera, his 8th save of the year for the Pawtucket Red Sox. It was Brett's, his 8th home run of the season. Now the Mud Hens will hit the road. They'll take on the Syracuse Chiefs starting tonight at 7:05 Eastern Standard Time. Can the Mud Hens salvage the road trip before returning home Thursday against the Norfolk Tides? Tonight on the hill for Toledo, it will be Melville, who's 2-5 with a 5.23 ERA. Jordan will start for Syracuse. He's 1-3 with a 3.71 ERA. Yesterday, other scores in the International League that were made mention of to be noteworthy, of course. The Clippers, again, are on the run. They're on the hot streak right now as they beat the Syracuse Chiefs 3-0. Cole gets the loss for Syracuse. He goes to 0-3 with a 4.76 ERA. Malookin gets the win. He goes to 5-1 with a 2.86 ERA. Armstrong, his 7th save of the season. Lonnie Chisenhall, the former third baseman for the Cleveland Indians, his first home run of the year with the Clippers. And it was a double dip in Columbus, especially with it being Money in the Bank also that night as well too. It was a double dip. They finished the first game from Saturday night with a 3-0 victory, and then the second game, Syracuse getting a 7-4 victory, finally salvaging for the series. McGregor gets the win for Syracuse. He goes to 4-4 with a 3.58 ERA. Chachin gets the loss for the Clippers, who's now 1-3 with a 3.21 ERA. Valverde, Papa Grande, second save of the year. Martinson gets his second home run with the Syracuse Chiefs. Games going on tonight in the International League besides the Mud Hens. We'll give you the updated standings going forward into tonight's game, as well as the Mud Hen batting averages presented by Dr. Zuhari and Fisher's office coming up here in a second. Other notable games, Columbus is on the road. They'll take on the Norfolk Tides. That's the 7:05 start time for that one. Buffalo is in Lehigh Valley. That's the 7:05 start time. Durham is in Indianapolis. 7:05 start time for that one. Gwinnett and Louisville, 7:05 start time for that. And looking at the standings going forward into tonight's play, here's what the standings look like. And this is not pretty, Mud Hen fans. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you this straight up to your face. The Mud Hens are still in dead last. They are now 28-36, 12.5 games out of first place. We're not the worst team in the International League. Syracuse is still the worst team in the International League. They're 20-44. Louisville is in third place. They're even 500 at 32-32, 8.5 games out of first place. Columbus is 34 and 36.5 out, while the Indianapolis Indians are 41-24 in the IL West. Well, it is Monday, so it is time for the Mud Hens updated batting averages and stats presented by Dr. Zuhari in Fisher's office. Let's start it off with Corey Jones. He's batting a .291 right now with 1 home run and 14 RBIs. Xavier Navy going into tonight's play, he's batting a .291 as well too. He's got no home runs but 22 driven in. Josh Wilson's batting a .291, no home runs, 10 RBIs driven in. Dixon Machado, .288, 3 home runs and 27 RBIs. Manny Pena is batting right now at .257, 1 home run, 15 RBIs, while Jeffrey Marte is batting at .251 with 7 dingers, 39 RBIs. Victor Martinez is back with the Mud Hens. He is on a DL rent on the DL, trying to get back into the swing of things. He's back in the Mud Hen logo. He's batting at .250 after this weekend series. He's no home runs and 1 RBI. Brendan Harris batting at .250 with 0 home runs and 1 RBI. Daniel Fields, .249, 3 home runs, 21 RBIs. But this year alone, now here's this one, 66 strikeouts. Absolutely terrible. The worst, here we go. Steven Moya, .234, 5 home runs, 28 RBIs. Jordan Leonardton. 228. 1 home run. 15 RBIs. 42 strikeouts. Mike Crash Davis Hessman. 227. 8 home runs. 30 RBIs. But the worst, Jeff McVay. 216. No home runs. 4 RBIs. Unbelievable. And they call themselves AAA players. Ready for the show when the call is ready. I seriously doubt that. Seriously doubt that. Oh. Buck Farmer leading the Mudhens. He's got 6 wins. He's 6-1 with a 2.98 ERA. Mike Thad Weber's in second. He's 4-3 with a 3.62 ERA. Rafael DeLees, tonight's starter, he's 3-2 with a 6.11 ERA. Tim Melville, who's the starter for tonight's game, is 2-5 with a 5.23 ERA. Be interesting. Just be interesting. It's gonna be a long summer. Long summer in the city of Toledo. You're watching All Andy Alfred, presented by carrythefifthline.tumblr.com on your exclusive home for me, ClayFan23. And hey, the sun is outside now. Thank goodness. The rain might be passing over us a little bit more. It was pouring down rain earlier. That's why my hair is still a little wet. You're watching All Andy Alfred. And tonight, at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, could we see history? I think so. I was the one that called Chicago in 6 in this series. A lot of people said it was going to be Chicago in 5, Tampa in 7, Chicago in 6. It's going to happen tonight. Gonna happen tonight. 8 o'clock start time on NBC. And also on, preferably on CBC. If you have it, it'll be probably an 8:20 drop of the puck. But tonight could be the night. It could be the night tonight to see the Stanley Cup being lifted at home for the Chicago Blackhawks. The last few times they have won it, they've won it on the road in Philadelphia, and they have won it on the road in Boston. Could it happen tonight at the United Center? I think it's going to happen. So, my friends in Chicago, get ready. Get that bubbly ready. You're going to be partying hard tonight in the city. So, we'll see what happens with that as well. But the big story as of what happened last night in the East Coast Hockey League, we have a new champion in the East Coast Hockey League. The Allen Americans, the new Allen Americans, the former CHL franchise, wins the Kelly Cup yesterday evening 6-1 over the South Carolina Stingrays. Looking at some of the stats in this game, the Allen Americans rolled over South Carolina. Shots were even through the game, 28 apiece, but Allen started off in the first period with 2 goals, 3 goals in the second, made it 5-0, and then South Carolina scored 1 in the third, but Allen was there with another one. It made it 6-1. Jeff Jakaitis stopping 11 of 15 in the game, and the Allen Americans win the Kelly Cup in front of 6,125. Game time 2 hours and 16 minutes. So congratulations to the Allen Americans, and welcome to the East Coast League as you have your first championship. So congratulations to them. Give congratulations to them. But I want to get into something that has been broken lately, and I want to get into this right away, too. Regarding our fight and the Derek Lalonde leaving saga. Okay, so I want to get into this. This was reported by a good friend of mine, besides Jordan Strack, who's got his ear to the ice at the Huntington Center. And this is coming from mlive.com. I found this article as well too, before the Walleye Booster Club found it as well too. Been keeping track of the whole Lalonde situation. Todd Nelson, the former head coach of the Edmonton Oilers, and Derek Lalonde are the two leading candidates for the Grand Rapids Griffins job to take over in Grand Rapids. Toledo Walleye head coach Derek Lalonde and former interim Edmonton Oilers coach Todd Nelson are on the final list of candidates to take over the coaching ranks in Grand Rapids. Both among 2 or 3 candidates that may be further contacted this week. Ryan Martin, the Detroit Red Wings assistant general manager, said in a text message on Monday. As the timeline to replace Bilesman, Martin hopes that it will be completed and announced this week. Bilesman officially was announced by the Red Wings on the 9th. And the Red Wing front office, which is in charge of selecting the new coach for the AHL team, plans to interview 6 candidates. They begun the interview process 3 weeks ago, and it became apparent Bilesma, who had such success with Babcock in Detroit. Lalonde was interviewed during that period. Nelson, meanwhile, interviewed Thursday. Other likely names in this position is from the Erie Otters' Chris Callback, former Boston Bruins coach and recent Vancouver assistant Mike Sullivan, and Pat Fitzwalker from the Griffins, his assistant coach. Lalonde has been with the Walleye for 1 season, but it was a successful one, reaching the Eastern Conference ECHL Eastern Conference Finals, losing in overtime in Game 7 after having the best regular season ever. The 42 Lalonde came from Toledo after 3 seasons as coach and general manager of the Green Bay Gramblers of the USHL. He went 1-11, 15, and 14 and won the regular season and playoff titles both seasons. He was the USHL Coach of the Year in 2012. While Nelson, 46, was the interim coach for the Edmonton Oilers for 42 games this season and went 17, 25, and 9. He previously spent 4 seasons as head coach of the Oklahoma City Barons, who are now obsolete in the AHL, and going into the conference finals twice. Nelson has been connected with the Griffins. He was a first player signed by the franchise in 1996-97. He's played parts of 4 seasons and served as an assistant coach under Danton Cole in 2002-2003. So, hearing all this information, did I not say that Derek Lalonde is going to go to Grand Rapids? Did I not say that Lalonde would think about it and he'll be the new Griffins coach? And am I not going to say also that Dan Watson could be the new assistant coach of the Grand Rapids Griffins? I'm not going to say that. I shouldn't have said that. If Lalonde goes, his whole office goes. That means everybody. That means no more Nick Bertuzzi! I love it! Thinking about it, think about it. Alright? Think about this. Think about this, Walleye fans. Really good and hard. If Lalonde goes to Grand Rapids, doesn't that mean that the whole office staff goes with him too? The assistant, the trainer, the player of operations manager. Na 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 na. Hey, goodbye, Nick Bertuzzi. No, Derek Lalonde deserves this. Watson does deserve this too, but Nick Bertuzzi doesn't deserve it. And if he comes back to coach the Walleye, I swear it's taking 7 to 8 steps backwards. And the new GM from the Walleye, if you ever watch this program and you're seeing this episode, do not hire Nick Bertuzzi. Hire him to sell popcorn. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It will be an interesting story, more or less. You're watching All Andy Alfred right here on ClayFan23, presented by CarryTheFifthLine.tumblr.com. The countdown is on to the new season of the NHL. And of course, I will mention this next week on the program. On Friday's edition of All Andy Alfred will be the NHL Draft Preview Edition. So we will preview and break down the NHL Draft and see who the Jackets, the Red Wings, the Penguins will go out and get going forward this upcoming draft season. So let's take a look at what happened, of course, Friday. Team USA tied with Sweden in the FIFA Women's World Cup in Canada. They tied, and then in Australia getting a 2-0 victory over Nigeria. Switzerland a 10-1 beating of Ecuador. Japan a 2-1 victory over Cameroon. And then on Saturday in the FIFA Women's World Cup, Colombia was a 2-0 victor over France. Brazil won. Spain nothing. England was a winner 2-1 over Mexico. And South Korea and Costa Rica tied at 2. Now today in World Cup action, Norway was a winner 3-1 over the Ivory Coast. Germany a 4-0 victor over Thailand. Tonight's games, China versus New Zealand at 7:30, and the Netherlands take on Team Canada at 7:30. Team USA will play tomorrow, Tuesday, at 8 o'clock against Nigeria. It is a protest game, of course, with Hope Solo in between the pipes. Tomorrow's games also at 5 o'clock, Ecuador versus Japan, Switzerland, and Cameroon. And also at 8 o'clock, it will be Australia versus Sweden, and Nigeria and the United States. And looking at the standings in the Women's World Cup going forward, going into today's play, Canada is in first place in Group A with 4 points. China with 3 points, with no goals in hand. The Netherlands are tied in third with 3 points. Team USA is in Group D. They're in first place with 4 points. Looks like they could move ahead if they win tomorrow night against Nigeria. Nigeria only with 1 point. Australia and Sweden are Australia in second with 3 points, and Sweden with 2 points. So we'll see what happens tomorrow as well. And remember, Hope Solo is in the game. So you know what that means? If you follow me on Twitter at AllAndyAlfred and on Facebook, you'll be seeing that video of Hope Solo as well. I'm sweating like a sauna in here. It's pretty warm in here. It's not the heat, it's the humidity that's really good. But up at MIS in the Irish Hills, of course, last night and yesterday afternoon and into last night, of course, was the Quicken Loans 400. Yes, the Quicken Loans 400 took place yesterday at MIS International Speedway, as it was a rain-shortened weekend on Sunday. 3 delays. They finally called it. Kurt Busch was your winner. He led only 6 laps. Dale Earnhardt Jr. finished second. Martin Truex Jr. finished third. Matt Kenseth fourth. Joey Logano fifth. Brad Keselowski sixth. Jamie McMurray seventh. Paul Menard eighth. Trevor Bayne ninth. And Clint Bowyer 10th. And other notables in the race, Carl Edwards finished 12th. He started on at 4th. Denny Hamlin finished 11th. Casey Mears finished 13th. Danica Patrick finished 16th. In the race, Jenny Johnson finished 19th. Jeff Gordon finished 21st. Sam Hornish finished 26th. Started at the race at 30th. And the last one, Kyle Busch, finishes 43rd. He finished with an accident in the race. So, MIS is done. The ladies are getting ready to tee off at Highland Meadows in July. That's right, the Marathon Classic, and yours truly will be in attendance on Friday's edition of All Andy Alfred. We'll be live at the golf course. We'll be taking some video, and we'll be doing the show. Then we'll be doing a tape show there, as we will be watching the golfers in the second round, the cut day of the Marathon Classic in the city of Toledo at Highland Meadows Golf Course in Sylvania, Ohio. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. And interesting to see what happens tonight. On tomorrow's program, we will break down the action that happened tonight. Of course, the Cubs and the Indians and the Tigers and the Reds. Also the Mud Hens in action against the Syracuse Chiefs. And we will preview Game 6 of the NBA Finals between the Cavs and the Golden State Warriors. If the Hawks win, we will give you full analysis of the celebration happening in Chicago. So go Hawks tonight. Pick the Hawks. We'll see what happens this evening. That's going to wrap it up for all Andy Alfred today. I hope you have a terrific evening. Go Tigers! Roar! Go Tribe! Go Cubbies! Go Redlegs too. Go Hawks! Go! Detroit sucks! Red Wings suck! As we are the fifth line. Go Cavs! And go Hens. It's going to wrap it up for all Andy Alfred today. I hope you have a terrific evening. Get outside and enjoy it once the rain does let up. But until then, this is Andy Alfred saying to you, I hope you have a good evening. And as always, I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together. Game of life. And to the teams behind me, and to your team that you root for at home as well, victory is sweetest when you have tasted defeat. And have a good evening, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow for a live edition of All Andy Alfred right here on ClayFan 2-3. Because I love you guys. Talk to you tomorrow. Talk to you later.